according to the plan, Hamas confirmation will trigger a ceasefire, supposedly. However, Hamas statement that Trump addressed, and the White House has shared what he said on its web site, avoids addressing the contentious issues like disarmament and Gaza's post-war governance. So what do you have on that?
I think that this is something like that the Israelis want a release or an exchange of the hostages and the prisoners without a conclusive ceasefire. They need to have a state of hostilities, and I believe, in action in order to ensure that they will keep the pressure on the Palestinian side when they move forward with the second phase of the plan. Marco Rubio yesterday, today spoke to one of the American mainstream media outlets, and he was revealing how the U.S. and Israel are thinking about this. They are now hyper focused on the idea of releasing the hostages, securing their release, the dead ones and the living ones. And by the way, Mona, this is very alarming to me because I truly have fears that this might be just a ruse, like a trick to secure the release of the hostages and take away one of the very few cards that is supposedly left in the hands of Hamas. So I believe that the important and the hard questions will be answered in the second phase of the agreement and the plan, if it is implemented eventually. The question of disarmament on the Palestinian side, the disarmament of Hamas, the question of the post-war governance of Gaza. And just as my dear colleague, Ms. Chapman, has said, Hamas is part of Gaza's reality. You cannot completely eliminate it. You can, even if you disarm Hamas and you force them to lay down their weapons, and if you replace them with a new government, they will be always a part of the Palestinian social fabric and also a part of the Palestinian political scene, whether we like it or not. I'm not a big fan of Hamas, but we have to be realistic about this. So these are very hard questions that need to be answered, and the Americans need to deal with them in a logical way and in a level-headed way. They cannot be completely biased to the Israeli side, because what the Israelis want is no agreement. What the Israelis want is a continuation of this war till the end, until they completely destroy Gaza and make it uninhabitable, displace the population from it, and annex it. This is the end game of the Israelis, and I do still believe that that is still the end game. So if Trump sees this through and applies the necessary pressure to implement this plan in full, I would be surprised. And it would be definitely a groundbreaking shift in U.S. policy with regards to Israel, which will prove that the United States really commands a certain scope of autonomy when it comes to making policy with regards to the Israel-Palestine conflict. And who knows, it might actually lead to something that is that could lead to a pathway to actual peace.